Hi folks, this is Tabi Asobi, and today I got my voice back. Laryngitis is no joke. Yeah, so I figured now would be a good time to do a video on the new Anomaly Research and Investigation system in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Yeah, I'll be talking low and slow, so apologies for the flat delivery. For this guide, I will be mainly focusing on how to increase your Anomaly Research level more efficiently, which is done by accumulating Anomaly Points. Now, why would you want to level up your Anomaly Research level? Well, that's because it allows you to unlock higher rank anomaly monsters for investigations, which provide the materials that you need for fueling your RNG habit. I mean, curious crafting. Seriously, this stuff is like gambling sometimes. It's like clicking and I'm like, come on, level 2 slot, please. As I blow on my mouse. By the way, reaching anomaly level 81 is also how you unlock A5 monsters permanently for the anomaly quests, which was the original way to hunt anomaly monsters before the investigations were added in this last patch. So yeah, that's another reason why you want to level up your Anomaly Research level. So after installing Update 1, you will get a bunch of features added to your game. You then go ahead and talk to Princess Cheech by the quest board, and you will notice that you now have access to anomaly investigations. So right off the bat, you will have several investigations unlocked already, which range from level 1 to level 21. The level 1 investigations will be for rank A1 monsters, such as Great Izuchi and Logambi for example, while the level 11 investigations will be for rank A2 monsters, such as Bishiten and Kezu. And then your level 21 investigations will be for rank A3 monsters, examples of which include Blood Orange Bishiten and Rathian. Yeah, so you basically have access to A1 up to A3 monsters right from the beginning, as well as the ability to unlock more of them. Note that doing A1 investigations will allow you to unlock more A1 investigations, while doing A2 investigations will allow you to unlock more A2 investigations. And then A3 investigations naturally unlock more A3 investigations. And then in addition to doing the investigation itself, gathering afflicted materials on the field during an investigation, which you can tell because they're surrounded by the red glowing curio, this will unlock new investigations as well. Now, all in all, you can actually unlock several monsters from just one investigation, including monsters that are different from the target monster that you are hunting. So you can do a level 1 Kulu-Yaku hunt, for example, and unlock other A1 rank monster investigations, such as a level 2 Great Izuchi investigation, or a level 3 Logambi investigation. By the way, successfully doing an investigation will also level up that particular investigation. So in this case, my level 1 Kulu-Yaku investigation turned into a level 5 investigation after I successfully finished it. And then once you reach Anomaly Research level 31, you can start unlocking investigations for A4 monsters. Now the quickest way I was able to unlock the ones I wanted actually was by going to the online quest board right next to Princess Cheech and then helping out other players with their A4 investigations. In addition to having a chance to unlock the same quest from the player you're helping, any other investigation you unlock by gathering afflicted materials will also be an A4 monster. And then once you reach Anomaly Research level 51, you can start unlocking investigations for A5 monsters. Once again, I ended up going to the quest board to help other players. So in my case, Bahari had a research request for a Magma Almudron, so I ended up picking that and ended up unlocking 4 different A5 quests just from that one mission. Now let's address what a lot of you are watching this video for, which is Anomaly Points. So every time you successfully finish an investigation, you will get your Anomaly Points tallied at the end of the investigation. Now let's break down each component that goes into your Anomaly Points to help you understand the best or most efficient way to farm them. So there are basically 6 metrics that determine how many Anomaly Points you're awarded after completing an investigation. So the metrics are Target, Research Requests, Other, Hunting Bonus, Adjustment, and then Gathering Bonus. So let's go through each one of these and see how they're calculated. So the first 3 that I mentioned are actually what's used to calculate your initial completion points. So the first one, which is Target, are actually the Anomaly Points that you earn depending on the type of monster you are targeting. Your target points are determined by the anomaly rank of the monster being hunted. So if it's an A1 monster, it's going to be 180 points. For A2 monsters, it'll be 200. A3 is 220. A4 is 240. And then A5 is 270. By the way, it appears that a monster's level does not affect its base target point number. And by that I mean that a level 65 Kulu-Yaku is still going to give you 180 target points, just like a level 1 Kulu-Yaku will. Which is something I checked to be sure. Now those points can be affected by bonuses and penalties, which I'll go over later. Anyway, like I said, Target is one of the 3 metrics used to determine your initial completion points. Up next is Research Requests. If you talk to Bahari, you will notice that he will always pick one monster that he would like you to investigate. I know, Bahari. I'll get right to it. Anyway, the monster is shown through a window that pops up on the right called Research Requests every time you talk to Bahari. This window is also shown when you pick Anomaly Investigations when talking to Princess Cheech or via the online quest board. Now, if you hunt the monster that he is requesting, Bahari will give you a multiplier bonus for your Anomaly points. From what I've seen, the bonus rate appears to range from 80% for A1 monsters all the way down to 40% for A5 monsters. And so here are the points that you can get based on the anomaly rank of the monster that is being requested. So for A1, that's 180 times 1.8, so 324. And then for A2, it's 200 times 1.7 for 340. A3 is 220 times 1.6 for 352 points total. A4 is 240 times 1.5, so 360 points. And then for A5 monsters, it's 270 times 1.4, which is 378 points. It's always interesting when you ask a journalist to do some math. And then on top of that, Bahari will also reward you with 50 anomaly coins every time you hunt his requested monster 10 times. And then these coins can be used to trade for items with Bahari, such as Amber Essence, Melding Pudding, Adamant and Sovereign Jewels, outfit vouchers, and even rare monster drops such as a Rathian Mantle, Magna Malvo Orb, or even a Malzeno Bloodstone and Geismorgorm Abyssal Dragon's Fire. Can't believe I was able to say all that. And then, like I said, research requests are the second metric used to calculate your initial completion points at the end of the investigation. And then there's Other, which are points that are given for other monsters that you hunt in addition to the main afflicted monster. So for example, in a double hunt involving an afflicted Magma Almudron and Malzeno, I was given 150 extra anomaly points for also taking down the Malzeno. And then in a triple hunt against an anomaly Blood Orange Bishaten, an Apex Arzuros, and a regular Nagakuga, I got 255 extra bonus points. Yeah, so you basically multiply target with the research request multiplier, and then you add other, and that's how you get your initial completion points. So for the hunt I mentioned, for Magma Almudron and Malzeno, it was 270 times 1.4 plus 150, which equals 528 completion points. It's actually not bad. That's good. And then after that, you go to the next calculation, which includes other metrics, such as hunting bonus, which refers to the bonus points that you receive for breaking monster parts. And then the next metric is adjustment, which refers to a multiplier bonus or penalty that you receive for special hunting extra conditions for an investigation. So this can be affected by, say, the time limit of a hunt, or the number of carts or feints that you are allowed, plus the difference between your anomaly research level and the level of the investigation that you're doing. Yeah, so investigations with the normal 50-minute time limit and 3-cart failure condition will not receive a bonus. So what you get is what you get. And then investigations with a shortened time limit of 30 minutes will actually receive a 25% multiplier bonus. And then the same thing goes for hunts that reduce the failure from feigning to 2 carts. Note that the extra conditions that make a hunt easier will actually cause you to get points deducted instead. Yeah, so a hunt that raises the cart feinting threshold to 4 instead of 3 will actually cause you to lose 10% of the points that you earned after adjustment. The good news is that it doesn't matter if hunters actually feint or cart in the mission as long as you successfully finish it. Basically, feinting during hunt only affects the money that you receive, I believe, but it does not affect how many anomaly points you get, which is great given how tough afflicted monster hunts can be at times. Another important thing to remember is that you get a penalty when doing investigations that are significantly lower than your anomaly research level. So when I did a level 12 investigation of a Great Izuchi, while my anomaly research level was at 62, I actually got a pretty big penalty. I think I lost 80% of my completion points. Actually, I lost more, because the penalty actually stacked with the extra conditions penalty as well. And so my completion points actually got reduced by like a whopping 88%. So my 180 points actually ended up just being 23 points. And then my final total was just like 59 after my 36-point gathering bonus was added. Yeah, so that's pretty brutal. So unless you're just leveling stuff up, make sure you do investigations that are a match or not too far away from your actual research level. By the way, a penalty can also be offset by a bonus, which has happened to me. So I ended up not losing any points. And then speaking of gathering bonus, these are actually extra anomaly points that you get from gathering plants, or bugs, mushrooms, bones, and account items from the field that are afflicted by the Curio. Now the game says there's a limit to the number of anomaly points that you can get from gathering. Personally, I'm not sure what the limit is, but the most I've ever gathered in one investigation was 23 gathering spots. and that actually earned me 69 gathering bonus points. I could just hear a bunch of 12-year-olds cackling right now. Yeah, so here is the calculation for getting your final anomaly point total after each investigation. So you get your completion points from earlier, and then you add your hunting bonus, and then you multiply that with adjustment, and then you add the gathering bonus. Yeah, so as an example, I did a level 35 Blood Orange Bishotin investigation, and so I got 352 completion points, and then plus 12 for the hunting bonus from parts being broken, and then multiply that by 1.25 from the adjustment, plus 15 points from gathering, and I got 470 anomaly points. So this brings us to the final question, which is, what is the best or fastest way to get anomaly points? Thank God it's the final question because my voice is like ready to go. Again. So ideally, you will want to do investigations that have more challenging extra conditions. So that would be less time, like 30 minutes for example. And then also fewer carts being given, like instead of 3, maybe 2, 1, or maybe even 0. And then on top of that, you'll want it to be a monster that Bahari is actually targeting as a research request. Doing that basically allows you to stack multiple bonuses and multipliers together, so you can get the highest score possible. This also means that you'll want to save at least one investigation for every monster with a challenging condition, if Bahari happens to request that specific monster. And then on top of that, you will need to make sure to level those investigations up to match your level, because Bahari tends to request investigations with higher levels as your level rises. This is actually one of my regrets, since I prioritized hunting A4 and A5 monsters pretty early, and ended up neglecting my A1 monsters. I pretty much ended up having to resort to using the quest board, and then hoping some other player hunting online has the same monster at a higher level, because doing my lower level investigations when I was at a higher level actually resulted in a pretty huge penalty. Like, I was getting like 40 points, 50 points, something like that. Otherwise, in cases where I can't find somebody online with the same mission, I just don't worry about the research request, and then I just pick one of my higher level hunts to maybe do farming for materials for Cura crafting. Which raises another question, is it better to do multi-monster hunts versus single hunts? Or to hunt A5 monsters versus A1, A2, or A3, right? Yeah, so at first glance, it would seem that doing multi-monster hunts involving A5 monsters would be the best way to get a lot of anomaly points in one hunt. But there's also more to this, so for example, the triple hunt I did against a Blood Orange Bishotin, Nargacuga, and Apex Arzuros ended up earning 559 points total, and that's without any bonuses and no multipliers. That was just a straight up hunt with no research requests, and also no special conditions like fewer cards or less time. And then that double Magma Almudron and Malzeno hunt that I mentioned earlier also provided 597 points, and that's with a research request multiplier. In contrast, I did a level 65 Kuluyaku investigation, and that one gave 450 points. And that's with a 80% research request bonus, as well as a 25% extra conditions bonus. However, while the two multi-monster hunts yielded a lot of points, both of those actually took over 20 minutes to finish, even with the HP reduction on the monsters. In the double Magma Almudron and Malzeno hunt, for example, I actually came into that late. And I also noticed that some folks were spending extra time to get perma buffers, which is understandable given the difficulty of the hunt, right? I mean, that hunt also has a higher risk of failure from people carding, so you gotta factor that in as well. In comparison, the Kuluyaku hunt only took a little over 6 minutes, and honestly, that hunt would have taken 4 minutes or even less if I ended up joining it with a bowgun, like the rest of the hunters in that particular hunt, instead of my normal greatsword. Because that way then I didn't have to worry about positioning, because I was kind of walking around making sure I wasn't in front of somebody, and then my greatsword would also bounce from Kuluyaku's rock. So if I just went in with a light bowgun or a heavy bowgun, we would have finished that hunt much faster. So that was all on me. Plus, since the hunt involved a Kuluyaku, no offense, there was practically no risk of any of us carding unless one of us became momentarily brain dead or just had super bad luck. In short, if all you're focusing on is points and you're not farming materials or leveling up certain investigations, it might be more efficient to hunt lower rank monsters, and by lower rank I mean A1, A2, or A3, as opposed to going for an A5 and then having a longer and tougher hunt, as well as a higher risk of carding. The exception of course is if Bahari picks an A5 monster, so I go for that anyways, since there's a pretty nice bonus as well. And then if you're a really skilled solo player, or have a regular hunting group with good players that you play with all the time, so you're not at the mercy of randoms, then you can try for the A5 monsters as well. Although to be honest, I've had pretty good results with randoms in general. In fact, my biggest issue was just waiting for people to come in, because sometimes a hunt would be going on for like 10 minutes before my joint request finally gets answered. But if you're playing with a group, then that's not an issue. As always, if you have any thoughts or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Once again, this is Tabi Asobi, and thank you for watching. And apologies for my horrible voice again. Thank you for bearing with it. Really appreciate it.
Sa te.